I would like use your file, but it's missing all of my plugins and all
Yeah,
the stuff down here.
I get it. I get it.
So I have to bring it in. I have to do it with whoever's music I'm dealing with, you know.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense.
Even the old band. Let's just do it here for now. What starts that? Kick. I'm just checking to see if there's anything before the first bar, so I can just get rid of that. And the audio, unless we need them. Oh, I'm just going to put a few things in place. I'm going to take the female announcer up to the vocal section. I don't know if I've discussed the structure of my project.
How it's like you put vocals up at the top,
Correct.
and then
And
it's the drums,
drums. Yes, very good.
and then it's
The
interesting little sounds like
correct.
swishes and impacts and the moon
Uh,
boy siren sound and
okay, cool. You do know that then.
yeah.
And then bass and music.
Okay.
Pretty much it. So I just want to put them in that section because they're all routed correctly to the right places. We've never really talked about this, but each section gets its own what's called a summing bus at the end. So you can see here my mixes pads gets its own bus, arpeggios, pianos, electric pianos, every instrument basically gets its own bus.
Yeah.
And yours, I'm gonna make one specifically for you saying violin, ukulele, accordion,
Right.
you
Okay.
know. Um, and then they each get fed into subgroups like kick, snare, cymbal, and that then all goes to the drums here. And
Okay.
all the vocals go to the vocal group, and then all the music, which is the bass and the other music, goes to these three. That's like this the second last stage, and then oh sorry, the third last stage. Then it all goes to the pre-master, and then to the master.
Okay. Jesus.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy, but that's how basically learned to mix from one of these amazing YouTubers, and I think it's the method that all the pros use, but they just haven't. No one explained it as well as this YouTuber did. Anyway,
Right. And you do that because then you can fine tune each track, each stem, and you can fine tune, and then you can manage all of them through the one
yeah,
thing.
correct.
Okay.
Well, there's like a few other reasons as that as well. Each group, I'm clipping the audio, so if it peaks over zero, which is like 0 decibels here, it will go into the red and will clip and distort instantly. Even the tiniest fraction of a mathematical number above zero will distort. So this stops that. It just makes sure it cuts all the audio off at zero.
Okay.
If it goes above that as well, and a lot of people just leave that cutting till here, the pre-master. But I
Mm.
discovered through a lot of people's nerdery and scientific research that cutting it in multiple stages is way cleaner.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, you
Interesting.
can understand why, I guess. Well, I think you seem to,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
makes sense. Makes sense.
less distortion and intermodulation distortion, which is a
Yeah,
bit crazy.
yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, so that's one of the main reasons. It can be super clean. That's how my mixes are super clean, I think. Super loud as well.
Right.
It may not be so important in jazz and folk because I wouldn't clip everything. I wouldn't be hitting zero, but I would still run them through the system. Whereas
Right.
electronic, we're trying to squeeze every bit of volume out of everything.
Yeah.
That's how the system came about, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Um, I want to try. Is this beat one? And was it 125? I didn't even check. That was silly. It must be.
What do you mean 125?
The Montreal Metro. Let's have a look. The speed of the song.
Oh, do you want me to open mine and check?
No, it's fine. We'll just use the BPM counter plugin.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, new straight away. Cool. That's a handy way of little thing to know. BPM counter.
BPM counter. That's
It's
good.
in what is it in? Oh my gosh, I thought it was utility. Oh, it's metering, sorry. Right at the top one. I just type BPM and it comes up.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not sure what speed something is and a sample, you can put that on and see what Logic thinks it is.
Mm.
Okay, so 125, yeah. Let's just exactly let's line that up with the beginning here. Should we let this one? Don't think so. So you can see I tend to EQ everything at the beginning, did some saturation, more, did some more EQing. These are
Mm.
also EQ
Wow.
because I'm trying to really push the frequencies into what is like commercially radio expected frequencies of a vocal.
Mm.
Um, I'm not trying to like force anything. I want to do it naturally so it sounds amazing, of course. Um,
Mm.
I'm not trying to put a fucking square into a round hole. Um, and then
That's
try
what
to
she
keep
said.
it. Yeah, exactly. Let's just hear that actually, see that those all work. Want a little less reverb. I mean, delay. Pushing the delay further even down in volume. That's much better. It's just lower in volume. Let's do the same here. Push it up to 20. Oh, it's even more, 27. Okay, fine. We'll leave that one fine then. That's one why that one worked. You can hear how incredibly quick the reverb comes back,
For real.
but it's, it doesn't cover this original sound. It doesn't blur it.
Mm.
Obviously, I could even push it further back if I really wanted to, but it's hard to decide that with just two elements. It's got to be the whole
Yeah.
mix,
Yeah.
that kind of
Makes
decision.
sense.
But let's keep going like this because I want to balance things properly. Okay, now the Agogo. Leave the vocal out for a minute. Yeah, that's way too low in volume. It depends how prominent we want it in the mix. Like we don't
Mm,
want it so in our faces that it's competing with the vocal,
mm,
but we want it sort of sitting nicely with the other ones. So I'm going to turn it up a bit to go to about -10, I'd say. What happened there? Oh, weird. Okay, that's good. Come off it too more. Can you hear now that um, the agogo and the kick are working nicely?
mm,
You know, nothing's overpowering it. The kick is really strong because it's at 0 and this is at -10, so it's 10 decibels louder. But it sounds like it's working together, you know?
mm.
That's sort of my logic of why I have these sort of reference numbers in my head. It
Right.
doesn't always have to follow the numbers, but it's a good starting point.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, just for a second, let's put the vocals in. Can you hear that everything has got its own space?
Hmm.
Uh, you can still hear the agogo, but it's now back because the vocal's so forward, you know. But you can still hear it nonetheless, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
definitely.
okay. Now I'm putting EQ on the agogo because I want to make sure there's nothing, at the bottom. We'll
Mm,
see now how there is. There's rumble. That actually even helps it stand even apart more in its own space.
mm.
No longer trying to fight with the kick drum. Um, let's see what pitch it's at. B. What key is the song in? Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Um, and you can sort of, you know, work around that or build strong things around that.
Yeah.
Um, you could, if you got both of these free plugins, you could tell exactly, Span is a great free plugin, one of the best analyzers. Oh, sorry. That's just solo the ego. Tell us exactly B -16 cents. So that ago goes on B because it's C. I'm gonna just try push it up a semitone and up 6 cents, so it's perfectly on C.
Mm.
How do I do that? I'm gonna go up here,
Yeah, I wanted to ask you that.
up to region. There's two ways to do it. We might have to try both to see which is cleaner. Two ways to do it for drums. No, for everything actually. Let's try here first anyway. So transpose one.
Ah,
These are in semitones, so one semitone higher. And then I want to bring it up 16 cents because if it's 16 cents too flat.
right. Good God.
Now it should be perfectly on C.
Wow.
Now that'll just fit better. It might seem radical. We could try G as well. It doesn't have to be, but let's just hear it work. Let's hear all three together for a second. Nice. It just sits even better now because now
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
harmonizing.
Yeah.
Now it's harmonizing with the kick drum, basically.
It's not off one semitone.
Yeah. And actually, now that it's so tuned, I don't think we need it as loud. Or that it's tuned well. Sort of bring it down 1 decibel. So let's go just to 7 dB and see how that sounds. Very good.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And now you might consider getting this plugin. You can buy in modules. You might consider getting the only two plugins I recommend, the pan and the volume,
Mm,
just because you can do so much with it.
okay.
And I do it on almost everything. I do use some of the other ones, every now and then, but these two is just like on every track nearly.
Okay.
So I think we just need pan for this one. Do it in two minims. And maybe let's shift it. It's gonna mute voice for now. Don't actually know if I like that. Let's try this. I think I preferred it as it was when it was beginning. What do you think?
I prefer it like that than when it's in the middle,
Yeah, yeah, same.
like what you've
Um,
done here.
just because, I'm helping the mix a bit to the vocal to sit in the middle and also the other synth elements.
Mm,
Also, it's not like a prominent thing. It's nice for it to move.
mm,
Um, okay. Yeah, that's that for the Agogo. If it's conflicting seriously with something else down the line, we might EQ it more, or if you want the Agogo to become a main star, we might saturate it more.
mm.
But so far, it's okay. So now let's deal with the next one. I actually want that to be rhythmic. The bongo. I'm just going to go down in order, no matter where it is in the song.
Yeah.
Nice. Let's do the same. EQ the low end out of the bongo. Oh, actually, first of all, let's deal with the volume. It's a bit loud. Kind of want it peaking at -6. What else is going on there? To where the kick is. Sort of tweaked it while I was playing together there. Um, and I think that sounds nice with everything. What could you hear it as a sort of having its own space there?
Yes, I could. So you're doing, so you refer always back to the kick. You
Yes, yeah.
you're often singling out that track and having a listen to that track, and then you're often switching the voice back on and seeing how it sits with how the vocals,
Yeah.
like I'm just saying what I'm seeing,
Yeah, no,
I
you're
guess.
totally correct. No, you're totally correct. Yeah. That's a good way of saying it. Maybe you should have summarized it like that.
No, yeah, okay. And
Just
then
be
do you do it when, so once you've done that, like track by track by track, against the
Mhm.
kick and against the vocals,
Mhm.
you switch everything on, and then you take another look, and that's when like the fine tuning and the fine mixing happens.
Yeah, sort of. Um, you could consider this the first stage, like volume balancing, which is a step in mixing.
Mm,
And I'm sort of also EQing it. I'm dealing with each track as it goes because you
mm,
could you could just volume balance first and not EQ, I'm sort of trying to kill two birds with one stone on each track.
Whilst you're listening, you're focusing on volume and EQ, volume and EQ. Okay.
Exactly. And the reason that, I'm not doing it in isolation is because something in isolation might sound fantastic, but you put it
Mm,
back in the mix and then it has frequencies that are fighting at bass and the cello, for example,
mm.
just making up instruments, but
Yeah, yeah,
um, so it's always good to check in the mix. I'm constantly flipping between the two, I think you can see
yeah,
from
yeah.
what we've been doing. And when I'm adding things, I'm going to start adding them in like that.
Mm,
I should have really done the clap next because clap and snare because that's the next thing of importance in the drums.
mm.
But I'm just going to work my way down for the moment.
Yeah.
I'll at least do this one, the bongo. So I did the same pan, but I turned it to be the opposite. So they're going like this, not together. That'd be boring.
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be boring. This would just be more exciting.
But yeah.
Station. Station.
Oh,
Station.
maybe I need this 15 quarters.
Station. Station.
Just want to listen to that one and solo for a second. Oh no, that's too much. Okay, let's try it as a triangle instead. Yeah, that's better.
That sounds good.
That's what I wanted to hear an obvious, not a
Mm,
smooth, subtle one.
mm.
That's the difference between the shapes, I think. The sine wave is curving, whereas this is like going in a straight line.
Right.
Sorry, you can hear it's already starting to groove nicely, even though I
Mm.
just accidentally put all those things on.
Station.
Actually, now the bongos are a bit loud. Take them down again.
Station.
And everything, once again, has its own space. Nothing's fighting for, oh, we're at the claps. Great. Well, one of the claps, anyway. Now I'm just going to, let's not have the vocals for a second. Okay. We really want the claps to peak at -3. So let's bring it up 5 decibels. I can just type that in, actually. You don't have to drag it up. Okay. Doing good. Now I want to clip it because I want the clap to always peak at the exact same volume
Mm.
uh, for the mix. Um, it won't sound, it sounds like I'm forcing it to have no life, but it won't sound like that in the mix.
Yeah, yeah.
It will sound really controlled, and everything else is going to bring the dynamics. All the other percussion parts, there's quite a lot, which work
Mm.
well, actually. They'll bring the groove and the dynamics. We want the clap to be solid. Can you see here? Some peaks are higher than others.
Mm.
Just want them all to peak the same.
Mm.
And this clipper is very handy. You'll see it in action, and it shows how much it clips off. I'm going to try clip off as little as possible. Okay, so it missed a bit there. Okay, I think we're good. Just check the next two. Perfect. So I'm clipping off 1 decibel off the waveform, which is not that much, just so that they all sit at the same level.
Mm.
Then I'm going to EQ it. My Logic knows so much that when I press 4 here in the search bar, it's to bring up the EQ.
Mm.
I don't even have to type the Mako model, just press 4. It's learnt my actions, which is a little scary. Thanks, creepy Logic.
Yeah, right.
Um, this is a crash. Let's check that. Kind of want symbols to peak around -6 to -3, but crash is usually -6. So let's come down 3 and see how we are. Because you hear the clap and the crash and everything, just all
Mm.
you can really see how important balancing the volume is, because you could just turn that up so bloody loud it would overpower even the kick, and you would
Yeah.
have nothing to groove on, you know?
You'd miss everything except that one sound. You wouldn't get the
Mm.
nuances and hear each
Exactly,
track in its own rhythm.
exactly. And that's what I did with Autumn Leaves. You had a really cool rhythm section, just made sure, it's all living in its own space and enjoying itself. I
Hmm.
forgot to tune these things, silly Brody. Let's check what the bongo is tuned to.
I'm just gonna go pee quickly
Yeah, go for it. Do you
whilst
mind
you
if I
do that.
continue?
Do your thing. Do your thing. Please do.
Okay, I'll keep talking as well.
Okay.
I know I sound crazy. So bongo is tuned to, looks like it's D, and it's 21 cents sharp. Oh no, 10 cents sharp. Okay. So it needs to be, let's try E flat. Mm, yeah, let's try E flat first. Because E flat is the middle note of the C minor chord. So I'm going to go up here, click transpose, up 1 semitone again. And then it was 10 cents flat, so fine tune 10 cents. Okay, now let's choose this clap. Claps are sometimes a bit harder. They can contain so much harmonic information. We'll try look down here, or one of the higher ones, one of the upper harmonics. If it's like this, we may not need to pitch it. If it's this noisy, it basically means all the frequencies are already present, if it looks like that. Let's see how it sounds with the kick. I think it's already in one of the notes of the chord because it sounds quite well together. Let's just try pull it off a semitone to confirm my theory. Okay, I eat my words. Pulling it up a semitone, pulled it into the chord. You can hear the difference. That's very well in tune with the kick. That sounds like the tonic to me. Can you hear that sort of whoosh between the two? Now, when I take it up to C, it sounds like it works well together. Very good. So it looks like the clap is in C. Say the bongo went to E flat, and the agogo went to C as well. Crashes, we don't tune crashes because cymbals contain all frequencies. So I could, separate some out by pulling points out on an EQ, but that's not really what a cymbal's for. It's meant to occupy all frequencies. If you think about the crashes in Nirvana's song Smells Like Teen Spirit, that's so powerfully aggressive. They're cutting through everything. Um, Now let's hear all of that together without the vocals first, and then we'll add vocals. Let's just get a crash in there. Maybe crashes. Oh, I need to turn the clap up. Sorry. Didn't realize I forgot to do that after clipping it. Let's try 3. That's better. Now let's check everything. Okay, I still think the crash is a little loud. I could come down now. A bit more. Nice. Now let's add the vocals in.
It's amazing how you can pick out the separate sounds now. Like just what you've
Exactly.
worked on. You can hear the voice sitting in its space. You can hear the other
Mhm.
stuff sitting in its space.
Mhm.
It's amazing.
I do. I do think that the template and busing structure helps that. So you know, it's not like you're doing anything wrong. Eventually, it would be nice to teach you all this so
Mm.
that, you can flow through it. Then we could easily pass projects between each other. Excuse me. Not that this is any hassle. Um,
Well, it's just extra work that you don't need to do and I can do on my side.
yeah. But the thing is, you probably wouldn't ever own all my plugins, so it'll always show a warning sign when you open. These plugins aren't activated, skip,
Mm.
you know. It's always some annoying thing.
Always. But that's kind
But
of general when you produce anyone's work because they're going to use different plugins that you're not going to use, etc., right? So,
pretty much that's why I prepared stems in your session. I bounced
mm,
everything out so that I could, in fact, sometimes I think that's better than unless you had my exact template. It's just easier that way.
yeah.
Now let's add these loops in. Same sort of process. Um, hopefully I'm not frying your brain at this point.
No, it's good. It's getting tired, but
Well, we
um
can stop soon.
I'm
We don't
learning
have
a
to continue.
ton. Yeah, I'm learning a ton.
Let me just bring the clap up there. Maybe I could show you. I don't need to go through every single rhythmic element right now. I could show you how I deal with the bass and the music. So you get a bit of each element
Oh yeah, let's do that.
instead of being like, you have a lot of percussion tracks, it
Claps
might
and I
take.
know. I love fucking percussion. I'll put as
Me
much
too.
percussion in as I can. It's terrible.
Me too. I like percussion as well.
Yeah,
No, none of that's bad. It's just that the more, the more you have, the more balancing is necessary.
yeah.
But let me just, okay. I don't really want to like unsolo those other elements. Or maybe I
Mhm.
could just turn them way down for now.
Or
The
if
ones
you
that
want
are
to,
unmixed.
or if you want to do all the percussion, and then we have another lesson where you show me how to do more melodic or synth-based stuff.
Would you prefer that? Is that
Um,
maybe
yeah,
easier
because
to
I'm sending you.
compartmentalize?
Yeah, maybe. Because I'm also sending you enough songs that there's always going to be synth and melodic parts anyway.
Okay,
Whatever your process works best, I guess.
definitely following each thing down.
Well, let's do this then.
Okay. It is a little repetitive, I'm sorry.
No, no, but it's like it's also good for me to see the pattern because then when I do it myself, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, Brody
Yeah,
did this, then he did this, then he did this.
exactly. And I would actually arrange things like kick, clap, hi-hats, crash, and then percussion. So everything
Yeah,
else, like hi-hat loops, should be above all the percussion.
by the crashes.
Correct. And then all of that's okay. The snare riser one gets its own, it's like an effect sound crossed with a drum sound, so it's underneath the drum sounds.
Hmm.
Anyway, let me just check this clap I brought up. I can already see, I think the volume's too low. Oh, it looks like it's louder um in the left channel. Let's just check that. I want that to go to the snare. Oh, it is. Why is that? Let's just balance it a bit. Need that much balancing. So I'm just panning the track to make everything seem like in the middle. And I did that by right clicking on this and selecting stereo pan. And I'm trying to make these two lines of green seem to be at the same most of the time. So I have to get
Uh,
it together. Let's try a smidge more. There we go. I think that's as best I can do,
right.
just to make it seem all very, even, not like lopsided.
Yeah,
Because it seems to be a bit more leaning towards this way. You can see it in the waveform, it's louder on the left.
yeah,
So by panning it, all I'm really doing is increasing the volume up one side, you know.
yeah. And this is just because that person clapping was clapping slightly to the left of the microphone or something.
It sounds like a group of people clapping, and they're
Yeah.
all, this person's probably standing a bit further off of the group. So the mic's
Mm,
picking up that distance because they're so incredibly sensitive. It takes more air molecules to get further.
mm.
Good observation. Well done. Let's check the tuning of that one. I highly recommend you get the span plugin. Actually, you don't really need to. I can always check the tuning. As I said, with the other claps often contain all frequencies.
Yeah, I'm amazed that you can tune a clap, to be
And same with cymbals. We don't tune cymbals. I tune hi-hats, so you can see some low C. It's already on a C. Perfect. I'll just show you what it sounds like up one. Let's hear it with the kick, actually.
Oh, yeah, that's nicely in tune,
I think
surprisingly.
so. Just show you what it sounds like off one semitone so you can hear what it would sound like wrong. Can you hear that?
Interesting.
Even though it's nothing really wrong, it doesn't feel right. You bring it
Yeah,
back to the in tune and it's like grooving.
yeah.
It's because it's like playing two notes together. You're creating dissonance in harmony and you need to resolve it. But how are you going to
Mm,
resolve that between percussion parts?
exactly.
So now let's put everything in. Oh, we didn't do the loops yet.
Station.
Oh, sorry. I forgot to turn this new clap up. I was like, why is it so low? And I won't clip this clap because I want it to be more natural.
Mm,
And I sort of make it the secondary clap, to be honest. This one will be the main clap.
mm. Oh, yeah, that's a good question. So sometimes I'll keep your kick and I'll put in other kicks as well. And then I'm like, okay,
Well,
I like the punchiness of it, but is this okay to do?
um, kick is special. It's one of the few things that is extremely difficult to layer very well
Okay.
because of this phase rotation problem again. At the low frequency, even the tiniest amount of EQ bump or change, even saturation, will cause the waveform to rotate,
Mm,
especially below 100 and below.
okay.
And because bass frequencies are so blooming obvious, it's so obvious if something is wrong or not as punchy as it should be for, especially for,
Mm,
commercial music. For everything, really. Even if I was mixing jazz, I'd want the bass to sound fat.
yeah, yeah. So better to keep just one kick that I really like, and
Hmm.
then maybe like these claps, polyrhythmic clap things, maybe that's the stuff that I can double up or add extra elements. And okay,
Correct. Well done.
okay.
Um, I'm only picking this one kick of yours because I thought really nice and occupied all the frequencies.
Yeah,
Um, that's really all you need. If it's already powerful and it's hitting at 0 decibels, which is as loud as it can be,
yeah,
that's why I start with the kick. Oh, sorry, second after vocals,
yeah,
because then if the kick is wrong straight away there, it needs to be swapped,
absolutely.
you know. But everything can be manipulated. We can tune the kick too, but it's just already in. Oh no, sorry, we did tune it. No, we didn't tune it. Let's just check. Did I check that? I can't remember.
Don't think
I don't think I did. Let's just check. 'Cause I really want to make sure it's,
on C.
yeah, or at least on one of the chords. Oh no, it was G sharp. Maybe we'll take it to G. Oh, hold on. This is going to make it sound way fatter by tuning it lower. Okay, I think it's actually dead on, which is great. Makes sense if it's electronic music.
Mm. Mm.
No, that's on G. That should sound much. You can already hear it's fatter.
You can hear it's better.
Now let's just hear it with everything. Oh, yeah. I feel like it stands apart even more now.
Mhm.
In the right way. It's like occupying more low end space
Yeah,
and it's giving the clap a bit of breathing room. Just hear that again.
Station.
I think
Mm.
I wondered with this clap, can we just play with it a bit? I want it to be louder, first of all. This is where I feel like it needs to be a bit creative. First of all, let's EQ the gonk out. I think it's a bit too much mids. That's good. The first clap should be the strongest sounding clap anyway.
Mm.
Maybe we should run them together. Okay, good. Okay, that's nice. If I just dip some low mids, give it the tiniest bump at 10K to make it stand apart from the other clap. But
Mm.
I think we also need some sort of cool effect that I would not normally, maybe like flanger or phaser.
What's the difference between a flanger and a phaser?
Um, they're both like the same type of effect. Um, a flanger is like got more of this wheel sound, and a
Mm.
phaser is more subtle.
Mm.
Um, I should really know the exact scientific difference, but
No.
this is the sort of Eleven sound
Uh,
is the phaser, was the flanger.
wow.
Yeah. So this is now a phaser.
Okay,
Phaser's
I
more,
hear the difference.
as I
The
said to you,
phaser
phaser's
sounds more
subtle.
human and more
Mhm.
natural to the original sound.
I just actually realized what the difference is, but it's phase rotation again. So phase is
Okay.
taking the waveform slightly out of time like this, and flange is pulling it really far out of time. And then they're
Okay.
playing them exactly at the same time. So like
Ah,
the computer will have to do this advance in time so that
yeah.
it can know what the waveform is and play the slightly delayed version as a phaser
Gotcha.
and the much more delayed version as as a phaser. And what you're hearing is that swooshing sound is the phase difference
Okay.
between the two files because they're so close. If they're identical, if the waveforms were on top of each other, it would just be
Mm,
louder. But because they're slightly apart, that's what these effects are.
okay.
Interesting. You're forcing my brain to think of really good explanations. But that's what it is. And for some reason, they became their own separate effects when it's the same thing, really.
Yeah, yeah. It's just the
I think
distance between them is different. So at
exactly.
one point, a phaser is going to turn it into a flanger.
Yes, exactly. You can see I can push it
Yeah.
further, but I think in this case, I want a phaser because I don't want it to be so extreme,
Yeah.
and that's already too much. So I'm now going to take the mix down to have a lot of the original file. Can you hear now? It's like the subtle thing. Let me turn it
Yeah.
off, turn it back on.
Yeah. I hear that.
Just a bit of it mixed in will help it stand even further apart from this.
Mm,
And because it's phasing, it's going to be pushed out a bit to the stereo field rather than centralized. You want
mm.
to always try to keep the claps outside of the middle. There's, of course, going to be some of it in the middle, but I'm trying to push it out to the side so that the kick and the vocals and the bass all sort of form the middle unit. Hope that makes sense.
Yep.
add the crash and add everything now. Let's go to here.
Station.
In the mix, that subtle bit of flanger makes it really even more obvious.
It's crisp. It
Mhm.
gives every sound like a crispness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you could always, if you get the final mix and you're like, oh, Brody, I don't like how obvious that is, I could just tame it down a bit.
yeah, yeah.
But I think it'd sit well. It's hard to know for certain until everything's really
Until
in.
everything is in. Yeah.
Let's just check this loop now. We don't tune crashes. Let's just EQ the crash. We don't want any mud at the bottom.
Station.
Perfect. Nice and easy. Now that loop is just too loud, as we can hear.
Yeah,
Let's go down -6. Probably do the same with the other one. Just see in the waveform. They're
probably.
shouting at each other. The kick is the only one that should be that loud because it's the only thing that's going to be hitting near zero.
Hmm.
The next thing in order of importance is the vocals, the bass, and the clap all hitting -3.
Okay.
It's not like a hard rule, but it's like the general things that I go for.
And then
Uh,
because you got these general ballpoints, uh, you know everything is going to sit well in relation to the kick, and you've
correct.
also got some wiggle room to move things
Correct.
up if you want to move things up.
Exactly. If you want a less punchy song because you want it slightly not EDM-y, you could tune the
Yeah,
kick down a bit. Maybe you could actually EQ the kick to give it that effect I was saying.
yeah,
Then, you know, there's the tools are not just limited to this one thing. In this case, we're trying to be as punchy as possible.
yeah.
It's-
It's dance music.
Exactly. We want it to be dance floor ready. Let's
Yeah.
EQ the mud out of this loop.
Station.
And I want to pan it again, but this time we're going to go directly from side to side.
Mhm.
Let's see how that works in minims.
Station.
Mm, let's try crotchets.
Station.
Hard to say. I didn't think I'd like the crotchet one. Maybe if we make this one crotchets as well, go in the opposite direction.
Yeah. Can we just listen to the two loops?
Oh yeah, good call. We
It's
don't.
difficult for me to hear perceive them.
Let's just check EQ that loop because there's a kick drum in it, which ain't no good. I think that'll sound nice in the mix. It
That's
might sound
nice.
because it's not actually panning; it's just jumping
Mm.
constantly. The two loops. Let's just check they're both about the same volume. I don't know if I want them that loud. Let's bring them both down to -9. See how that sounds. Okay, now let's add the kick in. See how it works with the kick. now the vocals.
Station.
Can you see hear how everything has its own space? And even I think
Yeah.
these might be a tad too loud still, but
It's
it's true.
quite energizing. Like just to use Pan as a tool, it can
Hmm.
bring some interesting energy
Correct. And
from
that's
just
why, you
the
know,
same direction.
that's why I'm suggesting you get this because you can, like, I can draw these cool points into this if I really want to. You know,
Mm,
we spoke about overdoing it. But this plugin is so powerful. And even if you just get the pan
mm,
module of it, you can just do so much. Look at all these presets. There's so many,
yeah.
you
Wow.
know, and you can program your own. You can program all these slots to change across the song if you really want
Mm,
to, you know.
mm.
Too much for me. Brody wants to songwrite, not program plugins, you know.
Oh God, yeah.
But
I'm with
these,
you on that.
I mean, I don't want to try sell this to you, but it's just very powerful.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
No, I hear you. I hear
um, and the combination of being able to jump and then move smoothly or move in a straight line or even, do weirder things.
you. Mm.
Let's just hear that again if you don't mind. Maybe the loops are still a bit loud. That one's peaking at one minus 1.5. That's very loud. Just want to hear them on their own again. Something like that. Let's bring it down here. You might have noticed I try to keep these all at zero as much as possible.
Mm.
Just hear how that sounds in the mix. Oops. Right. You can hear it's just not balanced enough
Mm.
quite yet. You want it to sound like it's all together. When it was louder, it was just very obvious.
Mm.
And it felt like it wasn't sitting in the band as a drummer, you know. And also,
Mm.
I feel like I hear the bongo now that these loops are a bit lower. I can hear the bongo again doing its thing,
Yeah,
you know. Does that make sense?
that does make sense.
Let's try the cowbell. We had a nice, sorry, you had a nice cowbell thing. Two different pitches.
Oh yeah, I quite liked that. That was quite a good energy. Like it helped to
Hmm.
drive it forward.
I thought so too. Oh, let's do one at a time. So C sharp minus 11 cents. Nice and easy. We'll bring it to C. Let's first of all turn it up. Let's go 6 decibels and see how it sounds. That works for now. If it's too loud, we can always pull it down with that. Or I can go back into there. EQ is always gunk. Rumble. Now we're going to tune it, transpose it down one, minus one, and it was 11 cents flat. So we're going to go up 11 cents to compensate for that. And we're going
Okay.
to tune that cowbell now to C.
Okay.
And it's anything that goes down in pitch always sounds richer.
It's
So
crazy.
you can hear the difference, right? Uh,
Huge difference. Huge.
and it will now fit in with the rest of the percussion sounds. Oh, I should just solo everything. Maybe not the vocals for now.
Oh, that's lovely. That is so lovely.
I feel like the crash is a tad loud. Let's turn it down here. But you're right. We're heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
Um, can I
I
keep
did
going?
not know that you could tune something like a cowbell. That's crazy.
Yeah, technically the bells, whatever the shape is, it's going to be some frequency, and that frequency is going to be there's 100 cents between a semitone. So
Mm,
it's going to be somewhere between a semitone or on a semitone, somewhere in Western music.
mm.
Um, so that was C. Let's check this other one. Do you mind if I keep going, or did you have a question?
Um, I got questions about other things.
Oh yeah, if you want to ask away, go for it. Ask what you think of them. Don't feel sorry or bad about interrupting me.
Well, it's about the audios that I've captured, like the early
Okay.
kits and that sort of stuff. But let's
Oh yeah.
finish this and then let's chat
Okay.
about that as a separate thing.
Okay, cool. Just gonna check the tuning of this now.
Yeah.
That is B flat. We could take it to C, but we wanted two different pitches.
I purposefully had them as two different pitches.
Let's
Like
try
G
keep
or
yeah.
E.
Or I mean, maybe we could keep it as B flat because that's the seventh in the chord.
Oh yeah.
Let's
That
just
will
see if
also
that
drive us
works.
forward.
Let's see if it works because normally I would tune everything, but I'm like, let's see. Keep forgetting. Actually, do you know what? I should just mute the other bits. That's what mute is for. And then we can get through everything properly and unmute them as we go. Actually, wasting energy soloing things. Let's just hear how it sounds with the seventh.
Station.
Bum,
The
ba da
reason
bum, bum,
that I think it
bum, ba da bum,
works,
bum. Mm.
do you agree? I think it works because my mind is hearing it like a returning note. Da, 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 to
Yes.
C. So a pleasing returning note is well acceptable in all rules.
Yeah.
I don't know if you felt like it.
And I think the C cowbell is like on beats, and
Mhm,
the B flat is like da da dum bum ba dum bum bum
mhm,
bum ba dum bum 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 ba dum, which is quite
mhm.
pleasing as well in the rhythm.
Exactly. It feels like 551 or 11511. Um,
Yes.
just because I think the G wouldn't have been as effective. For some reason, my instinct is telling me that. I want
Yeah.
to show us that. Down three
Yeah.
semitones, -3.
Mm.
Or maybe I'm wrong. Oh,
Let's
let's
have
not.
a listen.
It sounds very good in tune. I eat my words,
I I
but I
kind of
still
like both
prefer it
of
in B
them.
flat. Yeah.
Yeah. I like both options.
Okay. Let's
So
just hear it
choose what you
back
want.
in B
Choose what.
flat.
Yeah.
Oh, that was no transposing. That was zero.
Station.
I like the tension of this one for some reason.
I like the tension of this one, and I feel like with the other elements that have pitches, this will go well.
exactly, because
Because
it's going
there's
to be the
already
only
enough
one.
pitch movement.
It's going to be the only one out of not on one of the chord notes,
Yeah.
which will give it a bit of special groove, I think.
Mm.
I prefer this for some reason. I've never done this before, but that's cool.
Ah,
That's cool. Let's just hear
I
the
like it. I
volume.
like it.
Oh, I wanted the cowbells to pan as well, maybe. This one has already panned a bit to the left. Be nice if it's in.
Mm.
Maybe we can pan this one so it's always starting at the same place and then go across. So it's getting in like its own special shape, not one of the presets. That would be a straight line. It'll be starting at a different place. Oh.
Mm.
How many bars is it? Oh, it's one bar.
There's one bar cycle.
Not one bar. Let's just have that on its own. Um, maybe that's not what I want. Let's try here. That's better. Okay, let's have that in the mix.
Station.
Something not quite right about it. Why is it moving so fast? Maybe it should be over 2 bars then.
And when you do your pans, you're panning all sorts of different shapes and things according to the instruments?
Yeah.
Does there come a point where you're like, okay, I've got to stop panning things? Or,
Um,
sorry,
well, I
go
would
for it.
pan. No, you're right. You can't do everything moving.
Yeah,
But the thing is, I would not pan claps, snares, kicks, crashes, vocals, unless they're backing vocals,
okay,
bass, all of those things have to really be right in the middle all the time,
okay.
unless you're having extra copies panned out somehow that are sort of hidden in the mix to help make it sound wider,
Right.
which I don't really think is an effective strategy, to be honest. It's better that
Ah,
everything truly sits in its own space because that
right.
helps it stand so clearly apart. If you're trying to like thicken something subtly I feel like you're detracting. It's trying to pull backwards. What we would do in like commercial songs where I'd have one vocal in the middle and one pan to the extreme. It's
Mm.
not really trying to make it subtle and trying to push all three into everyone's face.
Mm.
So it's not like one is dragging the other back.
Mm.
Now, there's nothing wrong with that because you might want that sound of that thing spaciously coming in and out.
Mm.
But I'm just trying to really get maximum separation all the time.
Okay.
And you're
I
right,
was,
too much panning is just going to make you dizzy.
yeah,
You
like
know?
at some point, if everything is swinging all the time, you're like gonna get that almost seasick. Like, oh my
Mhm.
God.
And I
Maybe
actually
it's less
wonder,
important out of like room speakers because it
mm,
blends in a room, but
yeah,
in your headphones, I can imagine it can be a bit much.
mm, yeah, I agree. I think let's just pan these left and right.
The reason why
Left
I'm
and
asking is because on the um, vocal
sorry.
effects things like uh, 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 sometimes I'm panning that because I'm like, I like that sort of weirdness to it.
Mm, yeah, exactly. No, when you build, the thing is, you in our mix, you wouldn't realize how much panning is going on.
Okay.
But I'm doing it enough that it's just pleasing, and if it's also a more crazy panning instead of a more consistent one, after a while your ear adapts to it, and
Mm.
you think of it as the sound rather than this element is moving,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
and
because when you put like five sounds together, I don't hear the panning. I hear
mm,
energy
mm.
moving, but I don't know if what's left and what's right.
That's really the desired outcome. You don't really want the end listener to think, oh, that's bending nicely to the left. You just want to
No.
think of it as like those are a cool drum part. Maybe a drummer could appreciate the groove, but they wouldn't be thinking, oh, that this hi-hat is panning here for this second and there for that second.
Yeah.
I'd prefer the drummer to be like cool groove than rather than nice pan, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, your grooves are really good with this. So I think I just simplified that pan a bit. I think it'll be nicer. Can we try that?
Yeah.
Station.
Yeah. What do you think? Maybe
Yeah,
those
I like it.
cowbells could come down a bit as well. Might consider putting some strange effects on those, but for now, let's leave
Station.
that a bit more.
Yeah, that's good.
Split in a bit. We still hear the bongos. Actually, I should do them against the bongos. Where did the bongos go? What frequency is the bongo? Come on, where'd you go, bongo? 3190. I'm just gonna make sure the cowbells are dipped there. 3190. Oh, they're not even active there really. But I'll just dip them anyway. See, gave it a
Oh,
tiny more
wow, that gave it
space.
a little more punch.
So this bongo can cut through a bit more. Even though it's not active at those frequencies, I'm
Mm.
still taking some out of what's there. Now that
Station.
see with everything in, like you're saying, you don't really notice how much panning is going on.
Yeah.
I want the clap to be a bit more punchy. I feel like we might have to add a transient shaper to that. So this is manipulating the very beginning of the sound to make it punchier. There's a nice snare preset. Let's just see if that works. Snare booster. I think that worked. Let's just...
That's nice and sharp.
I just felt like it wasn't cutting through enough there. Actually, let's do it this way. Now we're talking.
That's crazy. It goes from being everything a little bit muddy to I literally it sounds like there's a whole samba percussion on stage on their own in their own space, grooving together.
Each being mic'd nicely, all on their own with no
Yes.
from the other mic.
It's crazy. Good lord. No wonder it takes you so long.
Yeah, I'm actually really doing this very quickly, to be honest. I would usually take way longer to listen to things. I'm just trying to speed it up to not bore you. But
it's not boring, it's just a lot of information, that's all.
Do you want to stop maybe? Because the percussion section goes on for quite some time before we even get to the effects.
Good God. Okay,
all of those, like even double more than what we had.
Let's stop.
Yeah, I mean, you know the principle. I'm just going to apply all of this to the rest, tune it, EQ the low end out, make sure it fits with everything else in terms of volume, maybe pan it if I'm feeling it, or I think it sounds nice.
Perfect. Okay. And then maybe, because this EQing, it's a big thing. Obviously, it's like one of the biggest things to do to a song. It's the thing that brings the song to life. It's the thing that sort of energizes each little track and the group of tracks and the section like percussion or synths or... Okay, maybe we can leave it there if you're okay. And
of course.